I'ma watch, give me platinum plaque. I'm a goon or something, I make do with that. Ain't here to small talk, don't need the chat. Know that I was made in the lab. The scientist screaming, oh my God. Give him swagger up, Tone Beach Bod. Let him hit the streets, let them die. What I mean to be great when you at halftime. When you're 20 years old, never had a touchdown. When you lose a control, all your brother's been gone. You're confused, you alone, never earned you a dime.
I got the goal, I think I'm gonna win. Place in the morning, yeah.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to our third, fourth edition of the JustSayN Podcast, because we're broadcasting out of the DFW, Dallas Fort Worth, Texas metropolitan area. Of course, I am Ferman Jackson, along with my teammate, my sister
Laresa
from another
Hall.
mother, of course, and we are here, and we're talking about this is our Sunday conversation. So, Lo, I'm gonna let you go ahead and explain it to everyone what our conversation is about and what we'll be touching on and all other great stuff. So I'm a gentleman, so I'm going ahead and let you introduce our Sunday conversation.
Okay, so first and foremost, I would like to say hi, Zay. Thank you for coming on. Look, we enjoyed your conversation, your thoughts, and everything that you were asking and commenting on last Sunday. Thank you so much. You are beautiful, my dear. All right. So today's topic is going to be about loving yourself. We're going to touch on relationships. We're going to touch on how to build yourself, so to speak. As far as basically, who are you? Who are you? And when it comes to even marriage, relationships, like how do you protect yourself as far as who you are and loving yourself within that marriage or that relationship? So we're going to touch on topics like that. It doesn't just stop on topics about yourself. When it comes with relationships, it also it also pertains to children as well. We will talk about that as well. We're going to hit on as much as we can, and we're going to do it in a reasonable time, people. Look, and let me tell you something, loving yourself and relationships and stuff like that, we can talk about this all day. I mean, it goes beyond. It is, let me tell you something. Like there are hours you can speak on this here. I know that there are people that might be able to or that might talk about this here at work, that might talk about this here with their family members, it just goes on and on and on. So with that being said, let's get the show started. Okay.
All right, awesome sauce. So here, this is something I had pulled up a while back, and I thought it was very interesting. Everybody know about Will and Jada. Everybody know they was married, separated, and they went through their trial and error course. Jada was always vilified. Well, it was always seemed like the villain. But I thought something Low was very interesting on what Will wanted to accomplish when he came to his wife. And he mentioned before about making her happy. And a lot of times we feel like we have to make that person happy when you didn't, because Jada and Will from two different backgrounds. If you study Jada's from Baltimore. She's from the streets. Her mother was a drug addict, her father as well. Jada mentioned that she was a drug dealer as well, growing up in Baltimore. Everybody know about Will's background as well, the Fresh Prince. But I think he mentioned before, now we're going to show, but he did mention something about insecurities. What would you say about that, Lo, when people have insecurity, they feel like they have to make their significant other happy? And what'd you say about that?
So this is what so it might touch some people the wrong way, but you know what? Hey, this podcast would not be what it is if we didn't touch people the right way or the wrong way. Okay. This is strictly our opinions. Okay. You are more than welcome. Hi, Zay. Oh, Ayo Zay. Thank you for joining. Hello. Thank you. I'm so sorry. I love to I love to say hello to newcomers. Thank you. Please hit that subscribe button. But back to the situation at hand. Let's talk about security. Security is a big situation when it comes to relationships. And it can literally make or break a relationship. Um, and what I mean by that is, and let me tell you something. Security doesn't always mean relationships as far as intimate relationships. It can be family relationships. It can be friendships. Like there are so many situations. Oh, Zay, you're crying. Oh, poor baby. So look, she's showing the emotion. So this is an emotional topic. So let's get down to it. Like I say, I love Ferman and we want our audience to engage in the things that we are talking about. So if I interrupt, I'm so sorry because I want to acknowledge the people that are here. We would not be anything without those people. Okay. Thank you for your support. Okay. So back to the issue at hand. Um, let's talk about being secure in a relationship. Um, and I know that with today's current social media, there are so many situations where a lot of people just don't feel secure, and there are so many influences via social media where people are expressing their ideas, their opinions about security. And like I said, security isn't always about how you feel about yourself. Security goes with safety as far as a woman. And I'm a woman right here, and I'm speaking from a woman's point of view. So hi Lala, boy, hi. So I'm speaking from a woman's point of view. So security just doesn't rely on, hey, do I feel secure with my man as far as other women are concerned, or I need to feel secure as far as financial situation is concerned. Is he able to protect me as far as if I get hurt or anything like that? It's so important for a woman in a relationship to feel secure. I know I say this is Brisha. Oh, hi Brisha. Hi. Okay, so hi Brisha. So oh, she's talking to me. Say la la. Okay, so when it comes to security, I say this here. And I might, it might rub a lot of people wrong, but I still feel like not just a woman, but the man is specifically, he needs to be able to make his woman feel secure in their relationship. Um, I'll use this for example. Today's I don't know what this energy is, but it seems like a lot of men hate women. A lot of men hate women. And I don't understand it. It is so crazy. And it's particularly American men. Not all of them. Don't get me wrong, not all of them, because there are very good men out here within the United States. Okay, and they treat their wives very well. They make them feel safe. They make them feel secure. So I'm not saying everybody. I'm just speaking of those people who do not. Okay. Um, so back to what I was saying as far as security. And I will give an example. And this is a big one. So Ferman, I want you to get this. I want you to tell me about this here. Let's talk about this cell phone situation. Okay. I have a question. You being a
Hmm.
man, if I'm married and
Hmm.
my husband has a cell phone,
Right.
do you think that that is his personal business? Or do you think that I should be, or it should be if there's a situation where I don't feel secure, particularly if he's been speaking with another female that I don't know or anything like that, right? And
Right.
and I feel insecure about the situation.
Hmm.
He does not want me to touch his phone or show some type of weird vibe when it comes to his phone. Like, I think that phone has destroyed so many relationships. Is it okay? So they said if it's being kept a secret, they know it's wrong. And I'm with you. I'm with you because I feel like in relationships, particularly marriages, phones are nothing. If you're able to physically give yourself to your husband, and like I said, I'm speaking from a woman's point of view. Okay. I cannot speak from a man's point of view because I am not a man. Okay. So I'm speaking from a woman's point of view. So if I'm able to give myself physically, if I'm able to open myself as far as financially, then that freaking phone should not be a freaking problem. How do you feel about that, Ferman?
Well, we go for the mature point of everything. That's okay. Let's keep it a bucket. Let's keep it one
Let's keep
thousand.
it real.
Be one
1,000. I'm talking
thousand.
about
All right. I mean,
100,000.
if there's, I'm just gonna go biblical for a moment, right? And I know I mentioned this after Secure the Bad Workshop. Big shout out to Shiloh for inviting us on yesterday. And I'm gonna go biblical for a moment. You know, the scripture said that Adam and Eve were naked and they were not ashamed, which means naked spiritually we're open. We don't have anything to hide. Is on the table. When you marry or you when you marry, it shouldn't be no secrets. We should be honesty in a relationship. It should be. When you're single, it's different, but when you with someone now, all that's out the window. So you gotta become as merge as one and don't hold stuff. At the end of the day, and we supposed to be each other's best friend, we should be able to confide into each other on personal things. Then we keep it among ourselves. That's maturity. That's just me. You know, some people feel like you gotta hide stuff, but we're married. We should hide anything. We are to be honest with each other. You supposed to be my best friend, right?
Oh
You supposed to
yeah.
be you
Why do
supposed to be
you
my
think
ace boon
men are
coon
not honest when it comes to that situation?
because they're
Why
not
do
honest
you?
with themselves. Hello, no, they're not honest with themselves. You know, I'm gonna go biblical for a moment. The scripture says, "Husband, love your wives like Christ loved the church." And then he says, when a man loves himself, he loves his body like he love his wife like he loves himself. So, lo, what I'm
Mm,
saying is, he
ooh,
doesn't love
that's
himself. He
good.
can't love her.
Ooh, that's good.
So, if he's not comfortable, if he's not real with himself, he can't be real with you.
Mm,
If he can't be honest with himself, it's impossible for him to be honest with you. And what it is, guys have not taught to be honest with themselves. They have not taught because they don't hear the word no. Like this
mm.
conversation came up last night, like with cheating, infidelity. Men cheat out of fear. And when I say they cheat out of fear, deep down inside, they want to see other women, but they don't want to be honest with the woman they with. They want to say, yeah, I want to be with you, but I want to see other women. Because they don't want to hear the word no. So that's why they go behind your back and do it, which is stupid. But if that's something you into, that's something you want to do, just be honest. And now I'm giving you a choice. But I just think guys need to learn how to be honest with themselves. That's just my opinion, my pet peeve. You gotta be
Mm.
honest with yourself because at the end of the day, lies gonna catch up. You gonna cause more harm than danger if we learn how to be honest with ourselves. And it
What
start
happens in
everything.
the dark comes in the light.
Well, because you gotta be honest with yourself, because at the end of the day, you're my best friend. You're my ace boo and cool. You
Mhm.
we supposed to be like Bunny and Clyde in this thing. We ride shotgun together, and we gotta have each other's back at the end of the day. If we
Yeah.
learn how to master that, I think we'll be okay. And it's gonna be times when you're gonna have ups and downs. Okay, just like the point of the wife. The scripture said the wife is as the weaker vessel. Okay, women go through things. I go through women things, and that's when
Wait,
we
wait.
have
What that's supposed to mean? Go through women thing.
women
What
things.
is
Yeah, I
that?
know
What is
women
that?
things.
What is that, friend?
Yeah, women things like women things like
I don't know what
periods
women things
and
is. Tell me.
periods. I'm
What
just
is
saying
that?
like
Oh
periods
Lord.
and stuff like that. But that emotional trait of going through things. And I just believe once we learn how to master loving ourselves, this really going back with the title of the show called Bring Joy to My Life. So once we learn how to master loving ourselves, we'll love our wives a whole lot better. But to
Mm.
then, we just gonna struggle with that thing. And guys know how to be with themselves. They really don't know how to be honest with themselves. And once they learn how to be honest with themselves, we'll be fine. And you have to train yourself to be honest. And like I say, low guys don't want to hear the word no. They do not want to hear the word no.
And what does that mean? What do you mean when you say guys don't want to hear the word no? So what does that mean to you? Because I mean, it's bound to. I mean, no one likes to hear the word no, especially when it's something that they want. And I want to say shout out to Mr. Nice Guy. Thank you for joining. We appreciate you here. Yes, yes, this is good. And I hope that everybody on this who is looking got hey. Oh, and cash okay, cash 08. Thank you. What does that mean? No, from a male's perspective. So cash, okay. So thank you, Cash. So, and or Cash is asking the same question. What does that mean from a male's perspective? And I want to know the same thing because, like I said, oh,
Oh,
hi, Shantae. Hi, Shantae. So, thank you. So, and thank you for joining, Shantae. So, from a male's perspective, that's my girl. So, from a male's perspective, what exactly does that mean? Because no one likes to hear no. No one likes to hear no. So I don't think that from just because it's a male, they don't like to hear no and it's okay. I feel like a lot of this is how I feel. I feel like a woman does not have to go through fucking hell in order to prove their worth or their worth as far as a partner. They do not have to go through hell. I definitely do believe that as far as marriage or a relationship, a long-term relationship is concerned, that a woman and a man is meant to be helpmates to each other. I believe that 1000% because but I would like to say this here. You know, I used to believe my thought process here used to believe that you get 50-50 in relationships, but from experience, we know that's not true. Because we know, look, at the end of the day, I might be only able to give you 20%. Like, seriously. It might be able to give you 20% like for a while. For a while and that leaves my 80%. So does that mean that my partner, because I'm saying no, I can't give that 50%, I can't give that more? Does that mean that hey, I'm not worthy? I'm not worthy of the relationship. I'm not worthy of the things that is going on. Like what does that mean from a male perspective? Ferman? What I don't get it. I really don't. Explain to me.
Well, once again, it's going back to being honest with yourself. I say this all the time. You are to motivate, inspire, and hold each other accountable. At the same time, bring the best out of each other.
Mm,
You mentioned sometime that you could bring some. Okay, at the end of the day, the man, we are to lead. We are to lead the family. We are to guide the family. We are structured to do that. That's just me. Everybody don't think like that. But at the end of the day, it's like you carry the team on your back. At the end of the day, okay, my wife is not filling up the part. Okay, I'm still gonna carry this family to the finish line. I'm still gonna carry this dynasty to the finish line. I'm still gonna carry this franchise to the finish line. We're still gonna drag out this championship roster to the finish line. This is just my weird way of thinking, Lo. And guys got, hey, I'm gonna carry this family. We ought to carry the family on our back. And I hate it. And I'm talking about in our community. Our community right now is so broken. It really is.
yeah.
And I never seen so many guys so feminine. They look for the woman to do this and do that. But going back to what I'm saying, at the end of the day, the man should take the family, carry the dynasty on his back, and run this race to the finish. At the end of the day, okay, you're feeling some type of way. You may not be up to par. At the end of the day, we still winning. And that's where we as men have to be more consistent and just carry the team. That's just me.
Mm.
Instead of saying, well, I'm carrying this team. Why are you doing me like this? And sitting there crying and pouting. No, men don't do that. Men, we man up. Man up and put your big boy drawers on and move forward. But this generation is so sensitive. This here is so sensitive. Uh, Angel, sorry I was on the wrong page. Just talk away to myself. What are we talking about? Can someone tell me I'm lost? Okay, Angel, asked a question. She said, sorry I was on the wrong page. Just talking into away to myself. What are we? Can someone? Okay, we're talking about loving yourself. We're talking about bringing joy to your life. We're talking about being honest with yourself. That's what we're talking about. Angel, learn how to be honest with ourselves. Learning how to be happy. Having that made up mind to be happy. And that's it. That's what we're talking about. I hope that sums it up, and I hope that makes sense. Lo, you want to chime in?
Yes, thank you, Angel, for joining. We appreciate you for coming back. That is so great. I'm so glad to have you back in here. Um, thank you. Um, so it's not just about loving yourself, it's loving yourself and not losing yourself in a relationship. Okay. That's also that something that we were talking about as well. um I did want to address a question that Shantae had asked. Do you think it would be a lack of compassion? So
Mm-hmm.
personally, I personally feel like I feel like sometime. Okay, so this is how I personally feel. I feel, especially if you are a strong woman, I feel like a lot of the times, and it's not just your partner, it's family, it's friends. Um, if you're a strong person and they are looking towards or looking to you to being strong, um, in your weakest moments, people don't get it. And they tend to not they tend to not understand that, and they don't give women a pass. um it's you're too emotional, or you're trying to be a man, and I hate that, especially when a woman is being strong, especially in our community. um you're this, you're that. It's just so many things that are negative instead of building our women up, because all it takes is just a simple, like, it's I believe that with some women, it's not hard to build your woman. It's not hard to build your partner up. And this goes for now, mind you, I am speaking from a woman's perspective, okay? But I do believe it goes both ways. So do not get me wrong, okay? Both partners have to build each other up. And that's just what it is. If you do not, guess what? It's going to fail. It's going to fail. There will be situations where you will realize, you will sit there and you will think about, oh, well, if I had done this here or if I didn't do this here, well, a lot of people tend to blame themselves and it creates a mental distress, so to speak. Um, so I did want to mention this. Okay, so Angel said, I am I am too. Treat a man the way they treat women. Be strong. And if he don't know how to act, then yeah, okay. Angel, you typing too fast. Angel, I think this is a personal one. So that's the way I think she meant to say, that's the way she feels. So um as far as treating people how you want to be treated, I do believe that is like, that's the golden rule. That is part of the golden rule. Treat people how you want to be treated. But as far as your partner is concerned, respect is so important. I had a partner that told me that they prefer respect over love. And when I thought about that, I was upset. I was upset that that was even like a comment, because I was like, respect over love. Hmm? What? Like, I don't know why I felt disappointed when that person said this, but I understood it in a way, because later down the line, I did get that respect is so important. But I don't believe that respect is more important than the love that you share, because when you love a person and it is so deep, guess what? That respect is going to, she said, ass. That respect is going to come. Okay. When you love a person and that person is showing you love, you don't have to worry about that respect. Okay. It's so funny because when I look at different videos, like say for instance from Shara 7, I don't know if you know who that is, but she speaks about women and their self-worth, and a lot of the times it's disregarding the aspect of love and, hey, securing the bag. You know what I'm saying? Securing the bag. So to me, I used to always think that I think this was a stupid part of me. This was the stupid young part of me. Until I realized this here. It's very important to allow the man to do those things. And I did not realize that until later on in my life. I'm an older person, but I realized that's important because it makes a man feel like they can take care of the woman. And I did not realize that. I think initially when I was younger, my whole thought process was, I have to take care of myself. I'm an independent person. I make my own money. And so, it's just what it is, because I grew up in a family of matriarchs, women who were super strong, who had their own money, who, they had their own bag. They didn't have to depend on anybody. Um, my grandmother and my grandfather were married over 50 years until he passed away. And So, when I think about it, I was like, she was super strong. She was super strong. And they still hung in there together. And I believe that no matter what, as far as a husband and wife are concerned, they have to hang in there together, um, regardless how the situation is. But going back to what I was saying, I do believe that there is a sense, as far as a woman is concerned, that you have to allow that man to do those things, because I think, in a sense, it makes that man feel like they can't do it, or that woman won't allow them to do it. Now, I might be wrong. I might be wrong, but moving forward,
No,
I'm gonna continue that. I'm gonna live by that.
I want to say this. Uh, what's wrong? What's wrong with that?
It's nothing wrong with that.
Okay,
Nothing
that's
wrong
what
with
I
that.
want to get at. That's what I want to get at. What what do they look for? What do they want? At the end of the day, you show that you're not lazy. You show that you have a will to succeed. What man don't want that? What man don't want that? That
Yeah,
shows me that you know how to hold everything down. God forbid something happened to me. That shows that she know how to hold everything down. What
yeah,
man don't want that? Well, I take that back. A man wants that because that shows that, okay, if anything happened to me while I'm sick, injured, whatever the case may be, she know how to keep the kingdom. She know how to keep the empire running afloat. That's a good trait to have. That's not a bad trait to have at all. Now, if you want somebody lazy, broke, busted, disgusted, then hey, by all means deal with that. That's just some stress. It shouldn't be a stress to one another. We shouldn't have a burden on one another. The load should be light for all of us. That's just me. That's just me. But I don't think there's nothing wrong with the trait that you have. That's a good trait to have. That just shows you're responsible. You're just a responsible woman. And that's a good thing to have. What guy don't want that? Well, that's just me.
yeah.
They they want a dumb blonde. They want a dumb broad. That's the worst one to have. They want liabilities. You want someone that's gonna have be an access to each other. That's just me, Lo. That's just me.
No, I
Everybody
feel you.
don't
I
think
feel
you
you.
got a lot
So
of
Zay, I feel you 1,000%. So Zay said, and she said something that I feel like, oh wow. So Zay said, I think that the lack of self control is a main contributor, too, because temptation is everywhere. And baby, when man, Zay, thank you for that comment, because that comment hit hit so hard, and she is completely correct. I feel that, a lot of the times, particularly married men, um, there are a lot of women out there, and this is why I say, hey, just because I'm a woman, don't mean that I am just on all women's side. Oh, by no means, because guess what? There's a woman out there that is willing to take your husband if they can, if they can. But it's the temptation and the lack of respect of the husband or the boyfriend that allows that to happen. Okay. Um, because that man can easily say, no, I'm not going to allow you to disrespect my significant other. Don't do that. Do not do that. Do not do that. A friend of mine, I remember years ago, he saw me in the store, and somebody was trying to talk to me. And I went off on this dude. Okay. Now, mind you, I was, I'm married. And so I was like, and he was like, you went off on this guy. Okay. Because I told this dude I was married. Okay. And I'm just like, you don't have respect for me. First of all, I don't know you. Okay. So you did not respect the fact that I told you that I was not interested. Okay. So
Mhm.
I'm just like, okay, look, I'm done. I'm done talking. Deuces. Now, so with that being said, that's why I say it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. That man have the ability to say no. Okay, no, no, I'm not going to allow you to disrespect my significant other, and you know, I'm just not going to do it because number one, that brings look. That woman's going to find out. Eventually, that woman's going to find out. That woman's going to find out what the hell is going on. And when she finds out what the hell is going on, it's going to be some problems. Okay. It's going to be some problems. And so that's why I say what I say, you know, no, no, sirree. No, that man got to be able to tell those women no, no. And a woman and a man, when you tell them things about your significant other, guess what they're going to do? They're going to give you everything. They're going to say whatever you want to hear. They're going to say whatever you want to hear. Especially if I tell you, okay, you know what? Husband doesn't take me out to dinner. And I love to go out, or I love to go dancing. So guess what? Guess what's going to happen? That person who's interested in you is going to be like, okay, well, let's go to dinner. Let's go dancing. They're going to give you those things that you feel like you are lacking in your relationship. It's play. It's a game. It's literally like a game. And I feel like a lot of women and a lot of men who try to invade in relationships, particularly marriages, they do that because there's no responsibility for them. I feel like they feel like it's a game. It's a game. They can like that's what it is. It's a game. It's a game for them. So
it's really going back. Go ahead and finish.
No, I'm done.
Oh, okay. I was saying, okay, then it's like going back to the beginning. What the purpose of being together for? That's what we gotta ask ourselves. What is the purpose for me being with this person? You know, is it because I don't base stuff off feelings. I don't base off of emotion. Emotion can lead us astray. So you got to ask yourself, why are we together for? What's the purpose why we're together for? It has to be a meaning why we're together for. That's how I look at it. Once again, you got to be honest. It's really going back to the honest part. You got to be honest. You be honest with yourself. Be honest with the person that you with. And yeah, temptation is on every hand. True enough, temptation is all around. But it's up to us not to bite into that temptation, especially when people go through stuff with the person they with. They got to go tell somebody, and they end up telling the wrong person. And that's how emotional affairs get started, if that makes sense.
Oh, no. And I feel like emotional affairs is the same as cheating. And a lot of people don't believe that. But what does the Bible say? Tell me, what does the Bible say? Just because I'm not physically intimate, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It is exactly the same thing. And I feel like a lot of people don't believe that and they disregard that fact. But if I'm emotionally attached to you, and giving myself emotionally to you, if I have built a relationship with another man, and say, for instance, I'm married, okay, and it gets to the point where I love this man, that's an affair. I have cheated. That is cheating. That is cheating. Because I'm giving myself emotionally to this man. You know what I'm saying? It is not, even though I might not be physical with this person, but I'm giving myself emotionally to this person. And that's beyond crazy. That's beyond crazy. I pride myself on telling the truth. I don't have to lie. Like, that's the one thing that a lot of people, like, I don't lie. Like, I just feel like I'm not gonna lie. Like, at the end of the day, who like, and I hate to say this, because I've heard this before. Because I'm a black woman, okay. That's what I'm a black woman. I don't care what nobody say. I'm a black woman,
Mm-hmm.
and I've heard this here. I'm grown. I'm grown. So whatever I have to say, I don't have to prove it to anybody. Like seriously, if I tell you what that I'm not doing something, I'm not doing it. If I'm saying, hey, I'm not doing this here, I'm not doing that. And so, it is what it is. Which brings this here, and I want to talk about this here because I feel like it's something that is very important to talk about. But I would love to get your opinion on this here, because I feel like a lot of relationships deal with this here. And this is a hypothetical question. So, say for instance, if I am married to somebody, or hypothetically, or if I'm in a relationship with somebody, a boyfriend,
Right.
and they have an emotional relationship with somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
and I have not forgiven, or I have not gotten over it.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of people, and this goes for women too, because I've seen it. It's not just men. It goes for women too. I've seen situations, even at the job and other places where when people are talking about it, I'm just like, huh? What? When they say that, well, that happened a long time ago. You should get over it. Even though it happened to them. I want to get your opinion on that.
We got to think about the trust, the bond that was broken. That's what happened. You got to think about it. It was a bond broken between two people. We made a bond not to hurt each other. We made a bond not to mistreat each other. We made a bond not to harm each other. And once we violated that bond, it's hard to bounce back from. And you just can't say, well, just get over it. You got to think about it. It was a bond that was broken. This is a bond that we made to be together, and we made not to. We supposed to respect and honor each other and cherish each other. So you got to realize it's a thing broken. And so, in other words, what you're saying is living up to the vows that we vowed to each other, the promise that we vowed to each other, correct? That we should live it out. I agree 1,000%. Being honest. Don't say it, just be saying it, meaning in your heart, because that's what you want to do. And once you violate that, yeah, it is hard to bounce back from that because it was a trust broke, and it takes time to heal. And it takes time to heal on that. If that makes sense.
Speaking of time, do you believe that there is a time limit? Now, I do believe that there is I believe that things can be okay or can be resolved if the
Right,
other
again.
person is
Hmm.
able to recognize the person that they hurt feelings and
Hmm.
does not disregard their feelings.
Right.
But if they say, hey, you know what? No, that happened a long time ago. You shouldn't be worried about that. I think that kind of messes up everything
But then we got to
that
ask.
they were
Go ahead.
to start. No, go ahead.
Okay, then we got to ask, why did we step up in that territory when they said it happened that happens a long time ago? Why did we step up into that territory when we vowed to be together and
Mm,
violate that law? So now I'm passing the buck on. Like, once again, a trust has been broken. It takes time. Now I do, in due time, things can be healed. I do believe that, but now we got to fix the situation. Now, once you've done that situation again, I mean, not again, forgive me for saying again, but once you've done that situation the first time, now I have to make amends not to do it again. Now, if I go back and do it again, that just show me I don't care.
Yeah.
And
I
people will address the.
yeah,
I would say
yeah,
people will
you're right.
address stuff to you. People will address stuff to you. Now, and I heard this. Now I heard this on yesterday. A person, you
Yeah,
can tell a
work.
person, yeah, work. Now I heard
Work.
this conversation yesterday. Well, and I noticed women had done this before. Now, if you tell this person something and not they vow not to fix it,
Mm-hmm.
and I told the individual they just don't care. You can lead a
Mm-hmm.
horse to water, we can't make them drink. You can lead people all day, but at the end of the day, they can't drink. I'm sorry. You can tell a person this and that. If they don't want to change, they just that's just who they are. My thing about it is just cut them off because that's just waste of time. They don't want to change. Now, if you got to make that change, but if
Yeah.
this person that you with is feeling some type of way, and you say you love them, would you make them?
Mm-hmm.
Will you make them necessary changes?
Oh,
If
of
you say
course.
that you love them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just not it goes in one out the other ear. So when that person just remove themselves from the premises, who fault that is? You can't say, "Oh, you wrong." She warned you many times. Hey, you need to do this. Hey, you need to do that. Hey, you need to step this up. Hey, you need to step up in this area. And a lot of time, our pride be in the way. Like I said, well, a lot of time, our pride do get in the way, and that's when we have to humble ourselves as men. Have to humble ourselves and take correction from your woman. And it's not a bad thing. It's not to tear you down or belittle you. It's to raise you up. We get pride in the way. So
Mm.
if we learn how to humble ourselves and take correction, it don't make it less of a man. It's just help you become better. So it won't be a hindrance down the road.
I think that a lot of the times when those type of situations happen, um, the woman, the woman might feel a certain type of way, and it might take a long time for them to heal because the foundation, literally the foundation that the relationship was built on, was completely broken. Was completely broken. So it might take a while. And I think a lot of people don't realize that it's a part of grieving. It's grief. It's grief. It is grieving. And just like grieving as if someone died. And that might sound extreme. It might sound extreme, but it's kind of the same kind of, I would say it's like a synonym almost, because when you think about the situation, you're losing the person who you thought they were, right? So you're grieving a person who's no longer that person. So you are trying to learn who that person is now, while being mad at that same person, while being pissed off at that same goddamn person. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
it makes it even harder, especially when that person, and like I said, and I keep saying this here over and over because I want this here to be um out there. It doesn't matter if it's a woman or a man. It doesn't matter. This situation is both, okay? Because they can happen to both. Um, you have to learn who they are. You have to learn who they are all over again because you have disappointed that person or that loved one with who they thought you were, and you're no longer that person. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if you are completely serious about the relationship, if you're completely serious about the relationship, then maybe you should show that you're serious about the relationship. So when that woman or that man is feeling insecure about that situation, instead of saying, you know what, that happened years ago, why aren't you over it? Why don't the person say, hey, you know what? Um, it did happen a long time ago, but I want you to know that the things that you are saying are valid, and the things that you're saying, I want to make you feel better about it. So, what can I do to make you feel in a way that you can trust me? You know, and I think, and it goes back to pride. Remember, you talked about pride, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of men are prideful, so they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to be like, oh, almost like, oh, I'm not a simp. But if you love this woman, you're not simping. You're trying to salvage and save your relationship. That's what you're doing.
Right.
I don't feel like it's a simping type of situation. So that's
Well,
how.
yeah, because I looked up something. It said, "Why does lying mean?" It says lying is bad because it generate truthful world is a good thing. Lying lying demolish trust between human beings. So once you lie, it demolish a trust there. And it
Mhm.
said if people generally didn't tell the truth, life will become very difficult. So that means the person lies, now life become very difficult. As
Yeah.
nobody could be trusted, and nothing you heard or read could be trusted. You have to find out everything for yourself. So
Yeah.
now life has become very difficult. You don't believe anything this person says. So now you gotta go behind them to see if they're telling the truth or not. And who wants to live like that?
No one. No freaking body. Um, and that's why I feel like women. It's funny because women my age will sit there and they will allow situations like this to continue to happen. They will stay in situations that they know are not good for them. And I believe it's a generation type of thing. It's a generation type of thing. Um, I was thinking, and I know we talked about the whole Diddy and Cassie thing. How this woman, like at the end of the day, let's just say what it is. She allowed this man to control her life because initially she could have left. At the beginning, she could have left, but she didn't. She didn't leave. She did not leave. And I believe that there's always signs. There's always fucking signs. This dude was never a good guy. He was a horrible person. He was a horrible person. You cannot tell me that there were not signs. And I heard, I kind of followed the trial a little bit. So I know at some point that down the line she was scared for her life, and she had every right to be. Um, but initially, she could have left. She could have left this. She could have left this dude. Like, huh? I don't know if you have a video about what Diddy. He did get sentenced 4 years
Mm-hmm.
for transportation and prostitution. It's so funny because my daughter and I had this whole conversation, and she thought this man was going to get like all these, oh, he's going to be sentenced for this and that and the third. I was like, no, he literally only broke this law. When you think about
Right.
the laws, because you have to think about what he was charged with and what he broke, the laws that he broke. So yeah, no. So and I was like, it's so weird how um Cassie stayed with this man, not just him, but the other one, the one who had his baby. I think her name is Gina,
Oh,
but
you
they
talking about Kim Porter? You talking about
no,
his
not Kim Porter. Kim Porter was one of his it's the
his sons and his twin
yeah,
daughters?
and the twin daughters. That's their mother. That's the one who passed away from pneumonia, allegedly. But I'm talking about the one who literally had a baby for him not too long ago,
Okay,
maybe
I know you're talking
a
about.
year ago. Her name is
Mm-hmm.
Gina. She's the Asian young lady. These ladies participated in these, scenarios that this man had a fetish for, Um, I mean, come on. I'm just
It's all
like,
about.
motherfucker,
But
I'm not doing none of that shit. You have to wonder why they were allowed, like why Jennifer Lopez, the one who he dated years back, why she was able to like be like fuck you, versus these ladies who were quote unquote stuck in a position they were stuck in. You know what I'm saying? So you have to wonder about those situations. Um, I understand because my one of my cousins was a victim of domestic violence, and she was shot and killed by her husband. She wanted to leave him. He was very abusive. And like I said, she was shot and killed when she was 3 months pregnant. So, I feel for any victim of domestic violence. It's horrible. And it's a horrible situation. And I pray that any woman that is in that situation, and men too, don't forget that men are in situations like that.
mm-hmm.
Um, but I pray that anybody who is in those type of situations are able to get out of those situations. But at some point in the beginning, you kind of know, there are flags, there are some red flags you got to be aware of. And I hope now that these young ladies, they recognize what those red flags are, and they never allow some scumbag to do them like this man have done them, or this boy have done them. um it's a horrible situation. We can even, I mean, it's so many we're so many situations we can even sit here and talk about like when a man, and this is something I kind of wanted to bring up as well. Why is it that a man why is it when a man gets in a position where
Mm-hmm.
they make a lot of money, they do not stick with the woman that initially were with them, and they be with somebody else? Um, Jeff Bezos is one of them. Left his wife, who was there, who helped him, who was there through thick and thin when he had nothing, who helped him build help him build the company from ground up. You know, why? Like, what's up with that? Do you have any thoughts about that?
Once again, it's going back to the pride thing. It's going back to the ego thing. You know,
Mm,
people that makes a lot of money, they surround themselves with yes men,
mm,
and it feeds their ego. They gonna tell them what they want to hear, not what they need to hear, because of the finances, status, quote unquote, they at. It's pride. That's all I have to say. It's pride, ego, and that's what they feed off on. Realize that your ego gets you in a world of trouble. And I think how much she get off Amazon? She got a good
she
penny off.
might have, because I don't there was no prenup. I mean,
Yeah,
but she literally built the company with this man. So it wasn't just him, it was her as well.
you know what I'm
So
saying?
she was
Yeah,
a
cause
part of it. Yeah.
she ended up getting 38 million. She ended up getting $38 billion after that.
Yeah, and she deserved every bit of it. That woman deserved every bit of it. I
Yeah,
remember I remember looking at what's that man? What's the Lord? I just know Club Shay Shay. What's his name?
Shannon Sharp.
Shannon Sharp. He's another prime freaking example. So I saw an episode where what? Oh man, I want to pull it up so freaking bad. Maybe you can find a video where there was I just know it was a Caucasian man. It was an athlete. I want to say he was a baseball player, but I'm not 100% sure. Um, but he said that his ex-wife have access to his bank account.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're no longer married at all. Um, huh? Oh, okay, okay, okay. I was like, huh, okay. Thank you, Mr. Nice Guy, for your comment. I love this, and thank you for being honest. Okay, good. So, so Shannon Sharp had guessed. He said that his ex-wife had access to. Shannon didn't say this, but the guest did. Had
Mm-hmm.
access to his bank account. Now, mind you, Shannon was like, "Oh my God, why? Oh my God, why?" Right? And he was like, "No, I trust this woman 100%." Now, we did
Right.
not last in our marriage, but we are best friends. She is literally like my best friend. And he said she was there at the beginning, so why should she not be able to enjoy what was built from the beginning? Like, why not? Now, Shannon did mention that this lady um, was already dating someone else. And
Mm-hmm.
he was like, "Well, aren't you glad? Aren't you afraid that she might get married to this guy, and she's gonna use this money, the money in your account?" And he was like, "I hope so. It's okay. I'm okay with that." And I feel
Yeah.
like a man like that, who it doesn't even matter if they are with that person or not, but is genuinely concerned for the happiness of the person who was there for them through thick and thin.
Mm-hmm. But it's going back to who you are. It's going
For
back
them.
to knowing who you are. Money's a tool.
It is,
Money's a tool.
and the root to
And
all evil.
yeah, the love of it, because people love it so much
Love
they do
it.
anything for it.
Mhm.
But at the end, money don't determine who you are. The money just a tool. And at the end of the day, you should want a person to be happy, with or without you. If they feel like they could do better, hey, let them be. That's fine. I want you to find your happiness. I want you to be at peace. I don't want you to be here you miserable.
Yep.
I say this and I learned this too. I never want to convince someone to be with me. If I have to convince someone to be with me, then they're not for me. You have to
Yep.
want to be here. You have to willing to be here. I can't make you be here. And that's okay. Let them walk
Boy,
in
you
peace.
said it. You gotta want to be there.
Yeah, you got to. You gotta want to be
You
there. You
gotta
can't
show
force
it.
people. Yeah, you
Mhm.
gotta want to be there. And if they don't want to be there, it's okay. It's okay. Cause you know who you are. You know your worth, you know your value. And that right there don't deter you. It don't devalue you at all, but you know who you are now. And
Yep.
like with the money situation, you replace money. That right, the way you made it the first time, you'll make it again the exact same way you made it the first time. So, and then what happens? Something happened to you. They say if you get injured, you gotta have assets to get to the money, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Or you die, you gotta have assets to get to the money, right? Why
You
do we
can't
gotta
take
hide
money.
stuff? Why are we hiding stuff from each other? That's why I don't understand.
Woo.
Why are
I
we
don't
hiding stuff
know.
from each other?
I think besides from infidelity, finances really ruin relationships.
But I'm
Oh
glad
my
you talk
God.
about this. That's when you need to sit down and talk about finances, because somebody could be good at budgeting, somebody could be good at saving. You may not be good at budgeting, you may not be good at saving, but it is okay. Now the person you with, they're a vet when it comes to money and tools. That's a good trait to have. That person can teach you how to save, can teach you how to budget, can teach you how to get your credit together. To me, that's fun.
Yeah.
So it's not a that's to help you, Negro, or whatever you want to feel like, because we're not good at everything. That's why it goes back to what we complement one another. You can be very good at finances, budgeting, planning, and you may not be good. Okay, now going back to humble yourself. Okay, she said, okay, babe, let me teach you how to manage your finances. that don't make you less of a man. That's somebody
Right.
that want to see you win at the end of the day. And
Thank
be
you.
thankful for that, because if you didn't care, you wouldn't say it because you don't
Yeah.
care. But you care, you do care. But that's when you say, you know what? I thank you for helping me do this, because somebody would never taught me how to do this. And it's okay. At the end of the day, Lo,
Mm,
you want to win. I
yep.
want to win. You
That's
should
what
want
we
to win.
winning together.
Right. You should want to win at the end of the day and learn. And we always learning. And the person you with can teach you something that you may never master before, but they good at it.
Yeah.
So you have to humble yourself.
Yeah.
But I
I
don't.
think
Everybody want to know everything.
you're exactly right. I think a lot of but personal I think a lot of men are intimidated by women that know a lot of things, particularly things more than them,
because they're not
especially
comfortable
when they're
themselves.
angry at them or
Well,
when
they
they're
angry at
upset
themselves.
with them.
Well,
Well,
they're not mad at you. Not mad at you. They mad at themselves. They don't want to be honest. They're mad at themselves. They're not mad at you. And
yeah,
it's not to belittle you. It's not to show you up. It's to help you enhance, to be a better person, a better, quote unquote, better version of yourself, as you say.
yeah,
You gotta, man.
yeah. Because I think a woman or a man that is able to tell their significant other that they are full of shit or they are not doing something that is right or fucking up, yo, those are the people that you want by your side. Because what you don't want by your side is somebody that's going to be like, oh, everything is cool, everything is okay. No, 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 fuck no. Tell me when, if I had $10,000 in the bank and fucking it off, you know what I'm saying? Tell me, low, you know what? You're fucking it off. You're not investing. You're not doing this here. You're not doing that. That's what I need. I need that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I don't need the other shit. I don't need a yes man for me, not for me. I want a person who's themselves. You know what I'm saying? Um I would say something, but I'm not. But I want a person who who I want a person who literally is themselves and who allow me to be myself, because I feel like that's the only way things can work. That is the only way things can work. Um, it's so crazy because as you get older, you change. You change. You how you are, the things that you once did when you were younger, it's not the same. It is not the same. Um, I feel like, a lot of people look for that person who they initially met 20 years ago or
Mhm.
13 years ago or 10 years ago, but they forget that people change all the freaking time. They are not the same. They are different. You know what I'm saying? They are different. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they are bad. It just means that they are different. So at that point, how do you accept it? How do you get along with it? Like, what do you do? You know what I'm saying? So like that's why I feel like, as a woman, I just feel like as a woman, or for me personally, how I want my man to be, I want my man to, one, love me. I want to feel loved. Period.
All right.
Period. That's like, for me, that's number one. I want to feel loved. Respect is second. Respect is second. Well, respect kind of runs in between both. And respect, but like I said earlier, love comes with the respect. You know what I'm saying? If you love a
Mhm.
person, trust me, you're gonna respect them. That's just what it is. Because especially true love, you know what I'm saying? If you truly love a person, you're gonna respect them. Um, and I need honesty. I need honesty. If you can't be honest with me, I can't fuck with you. I really can't. I can't fuck with you if you can't be honest. I don't want
Yeah.
somebody who is manipulative because they are manipulative, and I just can't deal with that kind of shit. I don't want somebody who will fuck with my children. Like no, because my kids are my everything. So
Right.
and there are a lot of mothers who don't fucking care about their freaking kids, which I don't understand that shit. And dads too. There are a lot of mothers, but particularly mothers, because I feel like in our community, our children, especially when it comes to single households, are with their mothers. So
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of children who don't get that love or who doesn't come first when it comes to the kids. They don't get it. They don't. It's just fucked up. So you know it is what it is, dude. I that's what I want. I want that. Plus I don't want something that is like, oh, the same thing all the goddamn time. No, like change it up, homie. Change it up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't tell me that we're doing something or that we did something 20 years ago and that count for no. How you got me is how you gotta keep me.
But
And
that
I
was I
think
read because
yeah,
I read this in my spare time, and I love reading, and I love to educate myself because I'm involved. I want to involve, I want to grow, and I want to learn. And
mm,
the main thing for us, we always learn. We should enjoy learning. We gotta grow. We gotta evolve. If we're gonna grow together, we're gonna grow apart. But we
yeah,
should always learn, have that mindset of learning. And that just me. I'm in this journey of learning. So
yeah.
learn. Learning is a beautiful thing. You just can't be settled. I think a lot of time we get so complacent. Low at time we get easy get so complacent that we just take it is what it is. I'm just gonna get by. I did no. You just gotta get out there, get out being lazy. It's laziness, being lazy, and you gotta get off your lazy butt and make something happen. Get out.
Yeah.
It's something I don't know, and it's a
No, you're
in the
right.
world is a beautiful, and in the world we in it's very beautiful. It's places I have not been yet. It's things I have not done yet. It's goals I have not set yet. It's place I have not been yet, but that makes life more worthwhile.
Well, why do you think that some men treat some women better than their significant other? And I know this kind of touched on a little bit when we were talking about Jeff Bezos and stuff like that. But like just everyday person, like
Mm-hmm.
why do you think that? Like, say for instance, okay, so I have a friend of mine who was married to someone, and then they got
Mm-hmm.
remarried, and I just feel
Okay.
like, and this is my personal feeling, I feel like that person was it's nice it's nicer to the significant other now
Mm-hmm.
versus the significant other prior. And it might have something to do with age and mistakes learned. And that's
Mm-hmm.
perfect. And if it is, I pray that that's what it is. But I just feel like the things that this person did or is doing right now with their significant other now, um, that's what they should have been doing with their other significant other. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I think that the relationship would not have failed. But now don't get me wrong. I'm so happy for this person. I love that they are happy. And if that's what they want, oh my gosh, I'm all for it. I am all for it. I just, hey, I'm gonna always question. I'm gonna always
Mm-hmm.
have questions in my mind because that's who I am. I
Right.
question things. I want to know. I'm not the type of person that's just like, okay, we're just gonna go with it. No, hell no. I want to know what I want to know the scoop. So why do you think that is from a
Uh,
man point of view?
um, it goes back to what we was talking about earlier, Lo. It goes back to being honest with yourself. We've been living a lie. We've been living a lie. We would never taught to be honest with ourselves. We got the wrong information. We were never taught to hold ourselves accountable for what. And then you gotta ask yourself, if I did it with the other person I did the first time, I'm gonna do it again with the second person because I have not learned. Then why we getting in and out of these marriages for? Why we keep jumping in and out of these relationships? I mean, it regardless, it takes work. I can't base stuff off feelings. I'm speaking for Furman. I just can't base stuff off feelings. I'm telling you, feelings can mess you up. Emotions can lead you astray. It's gonna be. I can't love you one day and then, oh, I'm feeling it today, so I'm loving you today. And when I don't feel like, oh, I don't love you today. It's principles. It's value. It's for better or worse, sickness do health, as we the vows say. But it going back to being honest with ourselves. Are we honest with ourselves? Are we playing ourselves at the end of the day? That's how I look at it, Lo. I look like it's going back to being honest with self. It's like we gotta break that mental barrier. We gotta break that wall. It's that wall. It's messing us up. It's blocking us from living a very successful life
Mm.
because of trauma. Going back to our childhood. A lot of people ain't dealt with this stuff in the child. I'm not using that as an excuse. Just like remember one time when people using mental health for an scapegoat. Remember that one time when people was getting caught up and they said, "Oh, they were blaming mental health. Oh, it's mental health. Oh, people use that mental health for an excuse. Oh, it's mental health."
Yeah.
And they were using that as an excuse. Any loophole. Oh, well, my mama wasn't there for me. Oh, my mama didn't breastfeed me. Or my mama left me. You know, they blame everybody for everything. But I do believe going back to being honest with self. And that's why I'm learning in my own life. I'm learning how to be honest with Furman. Because
Yeah.
I have to live with Furman. I have to
Yeah.
be I have to live with Furman. That's me. That's why I'm looking at low, because
That's
I want
100.
to be a great man. I am a great man, and I just want to be
You are.
100 with me, and I just want to be 100 with me, low. That's how I look at it, because
Right.
I have to be real with myself. That's my prayer, is to be real to myself, and I don't want to bring an innocent bystander in a jacked up situation. And I understand when people, like you said, a lot of single women, and I understand a lot of women have been hurt. They've been misused. They've been misused. And I understand that. And I gotta be honest with myself. I gotta treat people where I gotta treat her where I want to be treated. If I want to be honest, if I want her to be honest with me, I have to be honest with myself,
Yeah.
because it's a jacked up, we're in a jacked up world, man. It's just a jacked up world we in,
We
and
do.
I hate it that we have to go through this, and I hate that we deal with this. The whole red pill community, like you mentioned
Woo!
earlier. I never
Woo! Say
seen
it again. Yeah.
uh,
Tell us what that means.
because
That
they
red pill,
play
blue pill bullshit. That
what they
secret.
do low. What it is low. These guys are blaming women for their own faults. They're blaming women for their own failures. That's their problem. They don't want to take accountability for their own actions. And I say this on the other podcast. No one's not gonna tell you come get your life together. We are responsible for our own life. I'm saying it again. We are responsible for our own life. We
Mm-hmm.
have to take accountability for our own life. And if we don't, we that's what he said. That go back to Adam and Eve. When sin first came in, instead of Adam take responsibility, he told God, it was that woman you gave me. That's where it came from.
Mm.
So it's your fault I'm not successful. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. You get tired of hearing that it's your fault. Like, dang, what did I do? I keep telling you, it's your fault. It's your fault.
Mm.
It's not your fault. It's your fault, but you don't want to be responsible. I mean, you been in law enforcement. You know how it is. You see
Yeah.
how
Yeah, of course.
people they blame everybody, but they don't want to be
Except
responsible for themselves.
themselves.
You
Except
know, they believe
themselves.
like they got to use anger to get their point across.
Yeah.
or I gotta do this, I gotta make a scene to get a point across, but not realizing you put your own self in this situation.
Man, there's so many things. You know what? Speaking of, look, I'm about to be messy. Dude, you know what's so crazy? So I've been with the county for so many years. And for so many years, I just minded my own goddamn business. Didn't care about nobody's gossip or anything like that. Until I became a supervisor and I had to hear a lot of different stuff. And when I tell you, dude, I never heard about so many people cheating on their fucking wives and husbands as much. And I was so surprised. I was so surprised because I never really realized it that was an issue. I was like, whoa. And I felt like a little kid because I did not know. I did not know that this was going on. And but when I tell you, I was so shocked by some of the people that were involved in so many different scandals. And when I say that, I'm saying infidelity because their character never seemed that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed. There are particular it was just so very disappointing. And it's so
Right.
crazy. I don't know what the hell it was with my black ass. I don't know what it was with my black ass. I don't know why these motherfuckers thought that they could come up to me and be like, they could talk to me. Cause I was like, dude, I'm married. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck you got going on? I'm a married
Right.
woman. So I'm just like,
Right.
no, I'm not doing all that. Like, I don't know what you got going on, but I ain't into all that shit. Like, keep me out of it. And because, I'm just like, ugh. I don't know. It's just very disappointing in a lot of the people who work there. Um, I did not realize that was what they were doing. It was just it was heartbreaking at the same time because I saw all these young people ruining their marriages and their lives for what? For a fling? For a fling?
Yeah.
For something that was
It's
going
not
on?
worth it.
Yeah, because y'all asses were being talked about. The fuck? Like, I was like, Lord have mercy. Jesus
It's not.
Christ. Just like the situation with me where I had someone literally lied on me. Like I personally think this person had a mental health problem. This motherfucker had to be fucking crazy. In order to like literally sit there and this motherfucker literally made up a situation where he said that I was with him. I was like, huh? Motherfucker, I only called you just because I'm your supervisor. I had to call you. I wasn't calling you because I liked you. The fuck is wrong with you? And so, he figured it out real soon when I wrote his ass up because I wasn't going to play that game with him. And so, but it just goes to show the mindset of different people because we don't know what was going on with him and other people within the job or what they allowed him to do. And I was just like, whoa, what the fuck? What the hell is going on? Like, why is everybody out there like this here? And I noticed it was a lot of young people. It was a lot of young people. I mean, I just gotta put it out there. It was just a lot of young people out there stretching themselves thin with each other. And I was like, whoa, this is interesting.
Well, it's going back. What we saying? It's going back to loving yourself and valuing yourself, and don't devalue yourself, and just protect yourself at all costs. That because we live careless lives, and we shouldn't be living out here careless and loosely out here in this world, man. Because think how many people being affected right now, mentally, emotionally.
With diseases, with STDs.
Right. That stuff is real. It's real out here. It is so real out here. You gotta protect yourself at all costs.
Mm-hmm.
At all costs. And and people that's willing to step out on their significant other, that ain't the first time they did it. They used to
Yeah.
doing it. Do you know what? That's really be honest with us here. Some
We
people live a
gonna talk
swinger
about that
lifestyle.
next time too. Job
Yeah.
affairs. That should be our
Well,
next.
because I'm gonna say this too, Lo. You got some people who are into swingers. You got some
Yeah,
swingers out here.
yeah, that's true. I've known some in my lifetime. I've had someone approach me and my husband,
Yeah,
and
you
I
got
was like,
swingers out
huh?
here.
I was like, what the
Yeah,
fuck? And I was so like speechless. I was like, excuse me.
yeah,
I was very speechless.
yeah. You got people that swingers out here. You got people that swingers out here.
I didn't even realize it until my husband pointed it out. He was like, "Didn't that seem weird? Didn't that conversation seem weird to you?" Like we both looking crazy. And I was like, "It did seem kind of weird. What did you think?" And he was like, "I think they're swingers." I was like,
Yeah,
"What?"
yeah. You gotta be amazed. It's some people out here who lives a swinger lifestyle, and they go to the different places. I heard a story about this. When they go to these places, these clubs and everything, the husband and wife be scouting someone who may be willing. But anyway, the husband will go to the guy
Mm,
and talk to the guy and bring the guy will bring him to the table, introduce the guy to his wife, and then the guy will walk off. Him and the wife will talk, and then the wife will let the husband know, oh, he's down. He's down to do this thing. Because you got people out there who do swinger stuff, and then also you got people out there, Lo, that can't please their significant other sexually, but they can
yeah,
take care of them financially, but they let them fulfill their quote unquote sexual needs, which I think is weird in a way, but it's some
all
people
that
out
shit
here
is weird to me. But you know what? I think that's the old school in us because these younger people, they're okay with it. They're okay with
like
it.
the whole poly
Yeah, I'm not gonna
relationship,
judge anybody. Do what you want to do, but it's not for me. This shit is not for
the
me.
whole poly relationship, poly and
Yeah, polyamorous and all that. I don't know. I don't know.
but I heard this one person say one time to my I was willing to do a poly relationship to keep my person from cheating on me.
If you gotta do all that, baby, walk away. Fucking walk away. The fuck?
But they
You know
feel like
what?
if I do a poly, that mean that's gonna stop. That mean I ain't got to worry about
Hell
him
no,
cheating.
it ain't gonna stop him, man. What's wrong with it? Oh my god, what's this? A female?
It was a female. Somebody
Man,
said I love swing. Somebody said in the comments says I don't think they trolling. I think it could be a troll.
I love swings. Oh, I love swings. I don't think we're talking about that kind of swing. We're talking about swingers facing the
But
hall.
it's some people out here who be doing that stuff. So be just
That
be
is
mindful of who
funny.
you be involved with. Just you know what? I'm glad that people. Oh, they say, oh, I know. Hey, hey, some people get down like that. If you into a swinger, hey, that's your thing. By all means, that's what you feel like you want to do. Hey, and you and your wife, y'all agree to be in a swinging relationship. Hey, at least you're not lying to each other.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm just done with that. Lord, you know what?
Dude,
That's crazy.
big
That
time
is crazy.
executives, all these people like in high office, man, they be doing it. And then I heard a story one time. This guy, he messed around with this lady,
Mm,
and her and her husband was swingers. Do
mm.
you know they got the husband sit there and watch the wife with another man? Someone they get off on that.
Okay, Diddy. Shit. They do
Because
some Diddy
he
shit.
was sharing this story. He was
So
sharing
he's
this
a
story. He
so this
said,
person, so this person was a voyeur.
yeah, he sit there and watched them. He told them, hey, he told them, y'all just
Yeah.
having sex. Y'all not gonna kiss each other. Y'all just having sex. And he sit there and watch them. Some guys sit there and watch their wives. They get off for some reason. They get off on their wives being with other men, and they sit there and watch it.
Oh my God. I don't even know what to say. You know
It's
what
real out
though?
here.
Whatever floats the boat.
I
I
mean, it's
can't
real
get
out
with
here.
I can't get with it. when it comes to the STD, rate, fuck no. I would be celibate. I would be a nun. Okay, no, thank you. No,
But
thank
this
you.
kind of stuff that people need to talk about too, Lo, when they get into a relationship, before they enter into a relationship, these kind of things they need to talk about.
Yeah,
Because you got some
you
people
know,
that got some weird fetishes out here.
but a lot of people don't. They just do not. I know we say this here all the time. Hey, get your partner tested, blah blah blah. But they just don't. They don't. A lot of people don't believe in protection. A lot of people don't believe in a lot of different stuff. Talking to their partner, they just don't do it. They
Do
don't
they?
do it, even though there is, it's talked about, but it's not done. It's just not done.
Because you got to look at the whole point of when you get involved with someone. I know they talk about soul ties and stuff like that, and that stuff is real. But we don't have these kind of conversations like their background, their upbringing.
Yeah.
I read a story, and I don't know if it's real, and I read a story online. This girl, she was dating this guy, and when they would have sex, he would want her to use a toy on him.
Huh? Oh, what? You know what? It don't surprise me. Oh my
But
God. It don't
she
surprise
said
me. I have stories from deputies. It doesn't surprise me
she
at
said
all.
she never thought anything about it. She thought it was a fetish of his. That's something that he liked, and she would do it. But find out that he was into that kind of stuff with guys, and she didn't think nothing about it. She thought it was just something that he just liked to do, and it was a fetish.
And
But
he was
going back to what I was
bisexual.
saying is
Mm,
being honest with your partner, because there's some people out here who live a lifestyle that you're not accepting to, and I want you to be honest with me. Because I told you one time, I dated this girl one time, and we are adults here, and she told me, she said, "Firm, I got to tell you something. I'm bisexual." She was honest.
yeah.
She was honest,
Yeah. She like women and men. It's
but she was
okay.
honest.
Yeah, she was. She was being honest, but was she honest with you prior to you guys being intimate? I know it's a little personal, but
No, but in the beginning, she had told me that. She had told me that she was bisexual, and I appreciate your honesty.
wait a minute. I think I do remember you. Wait. Oh, you stopped talking to her, right? No.
Yeah.
I do remember this. Yes.
But I appreciate her honesty.
Yes. Yes. You know what? I mean, that's all you can do. You know what? You know what works for you, and it's okay. And whatever works for everybody else is okay too. You know what I'm saying? We are not here to judge you if you are bisexual, trisexual, whatever the case may be. It doesn't even matter. Do you? Do you? Be you. Be who you are.
Just be,
All I think what Furman and I are just literally at this moment in time is just saying, hey, make sure you let your partner know. Make sure you let your partner know. Give them the opportunity to choose what they
there
want.
you go.
Because it's so
There you
important.
go.
It is so important. Because if you lie and you don't allow your partner to choose, then that's when it becomes a problem. That's when it
Yeah.
becomes a problem. You know, I would rather be heartbroken, heart fucking broken, but be told the truth too, versus being lied to in my fucking face, finding out later on that it was all a lie. Because
But
then that's when I'll be fucking pissed. I'll be pissed and heartbroken. And you don't want to see this cancer right here. You don't want to see this July cancer fucking pissed and heartbroken. Okay. No. Because yeah, give you the fucking business. Do not do me like that. Because I don't like doing people like that, man. I like being I like being honest, especially when it comes to relationships and what I like and what I expect in a relationship. Like I I don't like that's just what it is.
mhm.
But due to time, due to time, next time, I think our next conversation for Sunday would be I think we should have a conversation about workplace and relationship or fraternizing because I think
Mhm.
that's so important. Because I've watched so many marriages become destroyed, become destroyed within the workplace. There's some, and I story time, and I got some stories. Okay,
Mhm.
and like I said, I don't work there anymore. So who's gonna do something to me? I mean,
Well,
I'm not gonna mention any names because I would never put anybody out there like that. But yes, there are some stories that are unbelievable. And I think that would be a good thing. Plus, this is a continuation of what we would be talking about. Because I know everybody this Sunday, they might want to get back to, I don't know what game is on right now, but they want to get back to the game and stuff like that. But thank everybody for tuning in. We appreciate all the comments, and everybody who did tune in.
I just want to say we thank everybody for tuning in. If you on the YouTube side, go ahead, click the notification button, go ahead and subscribe, and every time we go live, you get notifications when we go live. What we said today, I hope that it was beneficial. Going back to the whole more of the point of this conversation is being honest with yourself and being honest with the person that you with.
Yeah.
We can save a lot of time and energy once we learn how to do that. But it starts with self first. That's the only thing I got to say about that, Lo. It starts with self first. And
Yeah, you're
it's a
right.
good conversation. I think we had a good conversation. I
Yes,
think
we
was
did. Be sure to like the video and like it. Okay, like it, share it, download it. Make sure you tune in to our next one. Next week we will be having an interview, um, Wednesday, and then Sunday we will have our conversation. This is our Sunday conversation for you guys, in between game time. So we hope you guys enjoyed it. So, am I right about the day? Is it Wednesday, Furman?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was
You're
reading
right.
something too. Because I was reading a comment on the YouTube
No,
side.
when
It
the
said,
person was right, they've been living a lie the entire time. Hey, Galton, thank you for tuning in. Living a lie the entire time causes resentment. If God is not involved and placed first in a relationship, marriage, it will never last. Oh,
yeah.
Galton, that is. Hold on, let me put that up, sweetheart. Hold on. That, yes, yes, sir, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that goes with the whole, be honest about yourself, because being honest about God in the relationship, to me, it makes a big old difference. A lot of people don't realize that, having that discussion about their beliefs can literally make or break a relationship. It will, like, it's part of the foundation. It is part
Yeah.
of the foundation. Am I right? What do you think about that, Furman?
Oh, yeah,
Before
these
we
are things these are things you have to talk about. All this stuff you have to take in consideration. You got to talk about a lot of stuff. You got to talk about religion. You got to talk about politics. You got to talk about all this before you decide to spend the rest of your life with a person. This is the thing you need to talk about. And I understand he said if God is not involved and placed first in your relationship. Also, I also want to say that too. The Bible tells us to be a doer of the word as well. I keep God first, but if I'm not applying the principles of what God's word say, it's just in vain. So you have to apply the information what God gives us in order to make it last. That's all I have to say on that low. Really is these are things you got to sit and talk about. You got to talk about a lot of stuff. You got to talk about it's more than just saying she looks good, he looks good. You gotta have to sit down and have these real heart to heart conversations
Yes,
when it
yes,
comes to religion, when it comes to education, when it comes to where we gonna live.
yeah,
All this stuff plays a role. Oh, raising the family. That's another thing too. How are we gonna raise the family? Are we gonna be hands on? Are we gonna do public school? Are we gonna do private school? Are we gonna do homeschool? These are things you have to really talk about. But they fun though.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That is
But
so
we don't
true.
we don't have these conversations. We don't really have these. conversation. Debt. Do you have any debt? These are conversations we need to talk about. Okay, we need to clean up some debt. Credit. These are things we don't talk about, Lo.
Yeah, I
We just
know.
jump into these things and we don't, oh, I didn't sign up for all that. Just imagine we just sit and talk about this kind of stuff.
That's why
And
marriages don't work. That's why marriages don't work. People are so infatuated by the thought of being married versus
right,
let
true.
me get to know this person. Let me be friends with this person versus, hey, you know, let me like that. That's the reason. I think that is, well, not the complete reason, but that is definitely ranks in my top three of reasons why marriages fail. So, but we have all the time in the world to talk about it. We have several Sundays in store for you guys. Once again, thank you guys for all tuning in. With the sake of time, we know that everybody's busy, and we want to say thank you guys for all the comments that you guys have given us and your time. Thank you very much. We hope you can tune in next Sunday. And also for our interview that will be happening via throughout the week. We will be starting TikTok live as well. That will probably be more of a nighttime thing. Since my boy right here works at night. So and I'm a night owl, so that works for us. If whichever one, like, we want this conversation to get started and we want people to have it. It's a way to get your mind and everything that you have to say just out there. We hope everybody enjoyed the show. Thank you.
Man, I say awesome stuff. So we out this thing, man. Y'all have a great night. Peace, everybody.
Peace.